So, hey guys, welcome back to FXSR, and this time we're finally having the update that I was talking about. And you can see right away the home menu, it really looks good. You can see much better graphical representation. So you can see this was the older menu, and in compared to that, this is the newer menu. And you can pretty much see graphical representation of a Formula 1 car there, and you can see a NASCAR image also. So better, you can say UI feel is there, so it looks more attractive and appealing to the players. So overall this feels really good actually. So this is the list of all the HUD and UI updates. So we're gonna talk about each of the things one by one. So here we go. So now when I go to the quick race menu, you can see another graphical representation of both the menus, free tracks and race tracks right there. So this part is similar to what it was earlier, but when you click let's say let's go to Brazil for testing, you can see this menu is completely different, and it's different from what it was earlier. So this is the old menu. You can see in compared to that, this is the newer menu. It looks very different with new added things. So right here you can see some new menu added here. So when you click to the driving mode, you can see some things like no traction control, speed to realistic parameter, individual tire behavior, balance grip on the straight, and some advanced setup which is new to this update. We're just going to talk about little later on. There's another little option which you can select race or qualifying, which will be handy in the championship. The most crazy thing about this update is rain. What I mean is weather. So now you have clear rain and heavy rain. Yes guys, now you can pretty much control the weather according to your wish. Not like earlier it used to be like random weather selection, but now you can control the rain or the weather. Is it a clear day or a normal rainy day or a heavy rainy day? You can control it. That is a very nice addition to the game. You can also make a force rain start option too. You can see that will make the race start from a rainy start. Apart from that, all the other things like difficulty things are like damage resistance, and all the other things are as usual which were earlier. Now we're going to talk about all the new things added to the tire system. So first and most important thing is now there are 3 dry compounds and 2 wet compounds like real life. That is soft tires, medium tires, hard tires, and for wet sessions that is intermediate and the full wet tires. And there are also some new things added in the game. We're gonna slowly talk about all the tires things. So before starting the race, I'm gonna little bit talk about that I am not actually playing on my main phone because I have a Alpine championship right there, so I do not want it to hamper that. That's why I'm playing on another phone. If you remember this video, that $70 phone I talked about, yes, I'm playing on that phone. So here we go, we are loaded in the race, and you can right away see a lot of changes in the race UI. So we're gonna talk about each one by one. So this was the old menu, you can see, and you can see a pretty much of a clear difference in the newer menu. The most important and most impressive thing is the leaderboard. Yes, that is crazy. You can see all the 20 cars on the grid and all the time they are on, and you can pretty much change it according to you, the gap and the time. You can pretty much click on that stopwatch button right there, and you can change according to your wish. So that is really good. There up ahead, all the things like a pause button, camera change, and mirror up there. And on top in the middle you can see the lap counter. So there is a little bit of a modification. Also track penalties is it just shows all the time, so it is a new thing also added. And on the furthest most right side, you can see another new few things like track humidity, the wetness of the track, how much the track surface is. You can see tire health right there, and advanced setting. So on the right, if you click on that advanced setting, you can see a lot of things like engine, transmission, suspension, aerodynamic, and brakes. All of these will affect the overall car's performance. So engine performance, you can see it is the engine output power, and engine braking is the deceleration force that you get from the engine. So you can see this is with the max engine braking. So when I'm gonna lift up the throttle, the car gonna decelerate very quickly. You can see the engine is actually breaking down the speed, while if I like reduce the engine braking, so you can see the car will roll more. So here we go, I have left the throttle and look at the car is rolling further, so the engine braking is not there. So you can actually pretty much tune it perfectly for getting that perfect exit or deceleration. Different players have different opinion about it, so different players, you're gonna tune it differently for optimum performance of the car. So next we have the transmission, that is the gear ratio. So a shorter gear ratio will give you better acceleration but will limit your top speed, whereas a longer gear ratio will give you a better top speed, will help you to reach better top speed. For example, in Monaco, drivers preferably have a shorter gear shift because better acceleration throughout the corner, whereas tracks like Monza, we have a better method of a longer gear shift for getting the maximum of top speed out of the car. So in real life also this is a very good factor that actually helps, so you can also tune it according to the tracks. Next we have suspension. There's a lot of things going on in the suspension aerodynamic, and both the suspension aerodynamic pretty much affect your overall handling of the car, how responsive the front end is, how loose the front rear end is. So understeer, oversteer, all of this pretty much gonna affect throughout the aerodynamic and suspension. This is gonna pretty much affect the handling, overall handling and overall feeling of the car that you're gonna get. So if I can, I'm gonna try to explain it in a different video because this is very complex and I'm also pretty much new to this, so a lot of things gonna go around with this setting up and overall feeling of the car according to different tracks there. So it's gonna affect a lot of things, so very much of a complex thing FXSR is going with, but it is good actually. Game is improving, and also the brake is simple, more braking force and less braking force is simple. So I'm gonna tell you another thing that is not mentioned in the update, that is the hands. Look at the hands are crossing when you are giving a maximum steering locks, so the hands are pretty much crossing over. This don't used to happen earlier if you have noticed the game properly, but now it's more realistic because when you are turning the car, having a greater steering lock, your hands go crossing each other. So that is a very new thing. It happens in other games like Monoposto or Ala Mobile, but this is now also in the FX Racer. I think the video is getting a little longer, so I have to speak a little quickly. So you can see when you go off track, so earlier it was like a red warning thing, now it just shows all the time that you have been given a punishment of a track limit warning or 5-second penalty. It just shows all the way through. Earlier the tire used to go 0% and boop, you're done with racing, but now that has been renewed. Now you have some phases of tire degradation. It's not like 0% and you're done with the tire. So you have the new tire, that is optimal performance, then reduced grip, slightly less performance, then low grip, degraded tire, and no grip will be 0% kind of no grip or whatsoever. So I've shown this practically racing in Silverstone and all the degradation. So now you can see it is optimal tire, no warning has been shown, around 62% of tire health, and everything is very nice and under control and grippy. Next we have the reduced grip, and yes, already started to feel little bit of a difference, and right away you can see I am started to feel that slidey nature of the car kicking in. Also now we are switching to low grip warning, that is below the 80%. Look at that, the car is having so much of a slidey moment, and this is no grip, and oh my god, the car just, the rear end just is flying somewhere. The rear end is on ice maybe, and look at that, there is not at all any much of a grip. I mean, you're just gonna die driving on this 0% of just the car. The car will not do what it's supposed to do. I swear that was very weird. This is very weird feeling, and you can feel the slowness of the look. Just undrivable. This is undrivable. So now we're gonna test the extreme weather, the heavy rain and the forced rain starts. So we're gonna go switch to full wet tires, and here we go. We will be loading to the race, and you may be wondering, oh my god, my phone may be not able to handle this, my phone is weak. No dude, I'm playing on a $70 phone, and this is the one of the cheapest phone you can get in the market, and it's not that bad actually. I mean, it's playable. I do understand the frame rate is not very high or something like that, but dude, look at the graphical enhancement on this game. This is playable actually. This is very much of a playable thing. I bet you have a better phone than this $70 phone. I mean, this is actually very nice. I mean, look at the graphics of the rain effect effect, and the raindrops falling on the screen right there, and all the visibility is, my god, this is crazy. This is a red flag situation. There's no way we are racing in real life like this. But this is good actually. I mean, look at the reflection also on the track, showing the wet nature of the surface. Also on top, on the right side, you can see the track humidity, that is the surface water, how much water is on track. So wow, actually very nice. Fran, the developer of FX Racer, has done a really crazy job optimizing this graphical enhancement, that it's not that bad. Also on $70 phone, it is playable. Maybe you are not able to see that nicely because of the screen recorder, maybe not able to perform that well, but I swear the in-hand feeling is actually good. The performance does not drop that much as you may expect because of this heavy rain, like happens in Ala mobile. Just your phone just cooking. I don't know what phone you need, an iPhone maybe, I don't know. Phone just cooks. I mean, just fire. But this is really good. This still runs very nice actually. I'm very impressed with that. I mean, that is true that everyone cannot buy good phones, or like that, but Fran has done a crazy job. And look at that. I mean, in terms of overall feeling from the tires and rainy thing, yes, this feels slippery than what is on a dry surface. So yeah man, that is the difference. The car feels slippery. Car feels very much of a slippery than dry surface. So there is also improvement in that. Earlier it was like it rains but the grip levels remain same, but now this is different. So we're gonna quickly wrap up the video with a fast forward page to show you the dynamic effects, the dynamic rain effects. So you can see it's raining right now, but it's gonna dry up soon. So you're gonna see that is crazy, that the track drying up, the rain is drying up, also the track surface water is going down. So that is really awesome. Also the wet tires not performing good, reduced grip, as there's not much water for the tire to perform well. So everything is just going crazy man. So this is all the things I could wrap up in this video. There are many things that I could not, but do let me know what I missed, and hope you guys like it, and see you next time.